We're in for a treat today. Give me a second. All right, let's get it. Shannon Sharpe sued for $50 million over alleged R word. And this article came out today. Osage Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe has just been sued for allegedly R-ing a woman on multiple occasions, and the plaintiff in the case is asking for tens of millions in damages. The lawsuit obtained by TMZ Sports was filed by Jane Doe on Sunday in Nevada, so last night, after she says Sharpe brutally actually assaulted her several times at the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025. Now, we're only in the April, so that means within 4 months was the last incident following a years-long abusive relationship. Now, we do know last year, early this year, I can't type. This year, we know that Shannon Sharpe accidentally had an Instagram live go live. Now, I don't know how you do that. If you follow me on Instagram, I'm going to accidentally go Instagram live right now. Click Instagram. Click Instagram. All right. Click the button at the bottom. Click go live. And then before I go live, all right, is it going to go live? It's still counting down at 1. All right, we are now live. Okay. So it takes that long for me to accidentally go live. Now, that happened earlier this year with a woman by the name of Michelle. And if this is lining up with that, it looks like she's saying what happened on that IG live wasn't an accident. It was Shannon acting a damn fool, which we didn't see any blowback from it. So ESPN is very powerful, controlled by Disney. So maybe they just kept that on hush hush. But going live doing that, there's no accident to it. There's no way you can accidentally bump into your Instagram live and go live. None of that. So just putting her on there right there, that was already illegal broadcasting that. But they're saying this is from early 2025 and late 2024 over a years long abusive relationship. So it could be Michelle. That's the alleged woman that was on the IG live. According to the suit, Doe met Sharpe in 2023 at a gym in Los Angeles when she was 20 years old and he was in his mid 50s. I mean, she's legal. At least he ain't got no underage allegations. When she was 20 years old and he was 50, in his mid 50s, she stated that in the docs during the first encounter, Sharpe told her he would buy her fake breastises if she won a weight loss competition with him. She wrote in the suit, Sharpe proceeded to pursue her relentlessly, calling, texting, and demanding she come to his Beverly Glen mansion. All right, let's see. Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe 2023 weight loss competition. Of course, we're only going to get more. Anytime custom range. We're just going to look from 2023 to we'll just do 2023 till then. Come on, man. It's supposed to short stuff out for us. All right. This is 2023. Well, I'm going to be looking in the background to try to find out a weight loss competition. So he said he would buy her fake breast if she won a weight loss competition. She wrote that he proceeded to pursue her relentlessly, calling, texting, and demanding she come to the Beverly Glen mansion. The woman stated that she and the former Denver Broncos tight end ultimately got into a consensual relationship, though she described it as controlling and verbally abusive. Now, Skip, he demanded complete control over her time and body, attorney Tony Busby wrote in the Doe suit, expected her to be at his house on schedule, at his command whenever he called. Doe claimed that there was one argument in particular that terrified her when he yelled at her while a firearm was visible in the room. So she's saying one day he yelled and she was scared because there was a gun visible in the room. The plaintiff tried sharing her location with friends from her iPhone just in case, the doc state. But Sharpe saw her doing this. The moment he realized what she was doing, he grabbed her by the neck and told her, "If you ever do that again, I will effing kill you." The two, nevertheless, continued the relationship, even following a move by both to Nevada during the summer of 2024. Even following a move by both to Nevada in 2024. Shannon Sharpe, Nevada, 2024. Okay, we're gonna have to find something. So 2024, we got a Nevada trip. What happened in 2024? Did Shannon Sharpe go to 2024? Shannon Sharpe. Hmm. 2024. What else happened in 2024? The Pro Bowl. Shannon Sharpe, 2024. All right, so we got a couple of things to go off of. 2024, move to Nevada. Then we have a 2023 weight loss competition. So we're going to be looking for those in the up and coming weeks. Even following a move by both to Nevada during the summer of 2024. However, Doe states in her suit she attempted to break things off after an infamous Instagram live streaming incidents, which she said led to him R-ing her. So it is Michelle. Whoever was on the Instagram live is the one that's doing this. Now, do I don't believe anything here. I'm just gonna wait for the evidence to come out. But just him having her on Instagram live is already holding him liable. So regardless if he R-words her or did anything else, just having her on Instagram live, she could sue for that. So they got a case. If we're just being honest, that's what I'm saying. If you remove everything else, let's say nothing else happened, just him putting her on Instagram live doing actual intercourse, they got a case. Just from going Instagram live, they got a case. And with his net worth, you can ask for as much as you want. And remember, whenever you sue, you always ask for top dollar and you work down, because you ask for 50 million. If we get 10, 10 is better than none. Well, there we go. So regardless to the rest of the case, just being on Instagram live, that's enough. Was she on? Did she volunteer to be on Instagram live? Nope. That can go with the R word. You're doing something against their will. They didn't want to be on IG live, regardless of somebody's song. So technically, legally, they got a case. There's nothing we can do here. Shannon Sharpe got on his nightcap and admitted that was him. He said, all I know is my phone was going off, man. I just kept going. And remember, he was talking her through it. All of this, I didn't want to be on there. He was telling me what I needed to do. There's the case right there. Well, it isn't hard to believe now. Just knowing what we know, yep. Whether she wanted, it was consensual or not, I doubt that she said that they could be on IG Live. Damn. Yeah. All right. Well, there's no longer do I believe the case. IG Live, that's stupid. You're 50 something, 55 years old, man. All right, so it says, however, Doe states in her suit she attempted to break things off after the infamous Instagram live stream and an incident, which she said led to him R-wording her. So it looks like in the suit, after they went live, she was like, "Nah, I don't want to do this no more," and he told her, "I keep you around." So yeah, O'Shea Sharp, that's on you. Now, will she get 50M? Nah, but you can definitely get a little bit of money. Doe claimed in her suit that the first instance happened in October 2024 at her apartment. She said the 56-year-old Pro Bowl football Hall of Famer forced himself on her while she was crying and sobbing. The second instance, the suit alleges, happened a few weeks later in January 2025. Doe claims Sharp came over to her house with promises of delivering a Christmas and birthday gift to her, but instead violently assault her once more. She's suing for $50 million. It takes a great deal of courage to stand up against those with power, fame, and money, Busby said in a statement after filing the suit on Doe's behalf. I look forward to pressing this case in court. We reached out to Sharp for comment in the case, but so far, no word back. Yeah, well, Shannon Sharpe. And here we go. Now, Busby, hey, Busby is a lawyer. Busby is a lawyer. When you're a lawyer, your job is to take cases. If you commit a crime, you got to call up a lawyer. Whether you're right or you're wrong, you got to call up a lawyer. A lawyer's job is to defend their client, right or wrong. So you can't be mad at lawyers for doing their job. That's just the way it is. When we got these gangsters getting these big time lawyers, and we know that there's evidence that they committed a crime, no one says, "Oh man, these lawyers are helping criminals." Nah, this is the this is the system that we live in, the legal system. A lawyer, I take your case. If I think I can win money, that's a lawyer's job. A lawyer is a liar. A politician is a liar. You got to do what you got to do. Now, so Busby actually has a history of winning cases. So he takes more than just SA cases. He got some bigger cases that he won. But right now, that's the hot thing to do. Settling out of court. If I'm a lawyer, I'm taking all the cases I know I can get some kind of money in. A win is a win. If I can give my client $1 million out of somebody, that means 120,000 from me. If I can get 50 million, that means I'm getting 5 million out of that. So a lawyer, the only way you eat is taking cases. The only way you eat is taking cases. A firefighter, the only way a firefighter eat is going to put out fires. A lawyer's job is to defend whatever client comes to them. They could be the most heinous crime. You see these big time lawyers, they take all these bombers cases. We got lawyers. El Chapo's in prison right now. Ain't no one shame his lawyer for trying to get him out. And we know he been moving dope, one of the biggest dope dealers of all time. So a lawyer's job, you can't look at a lawyer. You just got to look at the lawyer like people believe OJ Simpson did it. But guess what? Johnny Compton went in there and told you he didn't do it. A lawyer's job is to defend the client no matter what. They're there for their best interest of you. When they go past that bar and they take that oath, their job is to protect you and get you what you deserve. So you just got to get a better lawyer. It sucks, but this is the way it is. And in this case, this is Shannon Sharpe just being stupid. I'm not saying he's guilty, but we know he did the IG live. So here's Shannon Sharpe explaining that.
On my own home. Um, and I'm very disappointed in myself, not for the act. I think there are millions and billions of people of consenting age that engage in activities, um, but to have your most intimate detail on the audio to be heard, I'm disappointed in myself. I let them call them. I called my sister, my friends. Obviously, my friends reached out, but guys, this was not staged. Um, came in, I threw my phone. Staged. Um, came in, I threw my phone on the bed. Um, Engaged in an activity. I did not know IG Live. I've never been on IG Live. I've never turned IG Live on. So I don't know how it works. And so um, all of a sudden, my other phone is going off and people are calling me FaceTime that I've never talked to a day in my life on FaceTime. And it didn't, I'm like, why are y'all calling me FaceTime? And after a while, Jamie, and he says, Shannon, you on IG Live. I'm like, doing what? You know, I'm like, what am I on IG Live for? I ain't hit no IG Live button. He says, on IG Live for? I ain't hit no IG Live button. He says, they can hear. I'm like, so now, Ocho, you know, I say ask for patience. He said they can hear. And now I'm starting to get agitated again because you called me and say I'm on IG Live when I know I didn't click myself on IG Live. And he said they can hear me. I said, hear me doing what? He said, it sounds like you were having sex. Man, my heart sank. It dropped. Uh, I run my accounts, but Jordan being the good Samaritan, the good soldier that he is, Jordan the one that cut it off. Because hell, I didn't even know it was on. That he is, Jordan the one that cut it off. Because hell, I didn't even know it was on. Jordan cut it off. Jordan put the message up. And then after I called my agent, I called my agents, the agency, I called ESPN after I was like, I just got this good, tell them the truth. I said, I just got to tell them the truth. My phone wasn't hacked. It wasn't a prank. It was me being a healthy, active male. I mean, y'all thought I was bull jiving. Hey, Joe, see, I don't, man, I'll be lying, lying. Okay, lying.
Come on, man.
He sparks hard, Ocho. You know, I
come on, man.
He sparks hard, Ocho. You know, I hit one early this morning.
Come on, man.
In all sincerity, I'm extremely embarrassed that a very, very private, intimate situation, the audio can be heard in the privacy of my own home. And I'm very disappointed in myself, not for the act. I think there are millions and billions of people of consenting age that engage in activities, but to have your most intimate detail on the audio to be heard, I'm disappointed in myself. I let them call them. I called my sister. My friends, obviously, my friends reached out. But guys, this was not staged. Came in, I threw my phone. Staged. Came in, I threw my phone on the bed.
All right, so there's Shannon Sharpe talking about what actually happened that day. He said he came in, he was just a healthy male, and they went in there and they got to it, but somehow he accidentally went live. And then he runs his social media, but somebody else got into the social media and logged them out. Now, usually you got assistants that are probably logged in there, but he said he runs everything. So it just isn't making sense. This is Shannon Sharpe. We all thought it was a goofy move. You're 55 years old. There's no way you accidentally did that. But that's where we are right now with this case. And Eric, here you go. Here you go, Eric. If you guys want to know about Tony Busby, so yeah, is he an ambulance chaser? Yes. But has he had big cases that he won outside of like SA and things of that nature? Yes, he has. Tony Busby is known for winning a large verdicts and settlements in high-profile cases, including $150 million in a verdict against Valero after a refinery explosion in Tennessee, $41 million verdict against seamen bitten by a brown recluse spider. He also won $35 million for a restaurant chain owner in a partnership dispute and handled numerous other major cases, including those against corporations and public figures. So he won $56 million in Colorado Springs. This case was reported as the largest ever in Colorado Springs. The $100 million settlement in a chemical case, $750 million lawsuit against Travis Scott, filed on behalf of Astroworld family and victims. Representation of numerous Williams against Deshaun Watson. He won some of those. So he has a lot of cases outside of SA, the Diddy case. So he's a lawyer. That's his job. Find cases. Find cases that he believes he can win some money out of. Aim for the stars and take the moon. $41 million. Well, you could die from a brown recluse. Sheesh. So Shannon Sharpe is in hot water at the moment. Now, let me see. What else do we got? Is there any new? NBC, New York Post. Also, real quick. Now, this came right after the announcement that Shannon Sharpe is looking for $100 million deal, podcast deal. So they're looking for $50 million and Shannon is looking to get $100 million. Now, this right here, this $100 million, whatever this is, they're going to put this on halt until all these allegations are over with and they're going to see where this goes. Now, this could be bad for Shannon. He could be removed from ESPN. In all seriousness, they're probably just going to step away from him at the moment and just pause anything they do. Because remember, at one point, everyone was looking at ESPN and saying, oh, ESPN, you know, they doing their thing because what went on with Fox, with Joy, not Joy, is it Joy? Yeah, it's Joy over there, and then you got a old girl on this one. But you had the Skip situation. So now they're going to look at Shannon Sharpe. They're probably going to back off him a little bit. Now, all that he's doing for LeBron and them, you won't hear Clutch Sports say one thing about this. LeBron's about to separate himself away from Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe's about to be on the island. What's the boy name? I mean, not the boy, the man. Stephen A. Stephen A is about to get on his podcast tonight, and he's going to say what is going on with Shannon. From what I know, he's a good man. Now, these allegations, we're going to see what Stephen A does. But everyone's about to separate themselves from him. He didn't have anything negative to say about Skip. I don't think anyone's going to jump on Shannon about this. They're going to probably say, let it play out. From what they know about Shannon, it is what it is. What's the dude name? What's the black guy's name? That's always going in on everybody. He used to be on the network, but they got rid of him. He used to write the articles. Y'all know what I'm talking about. What's the dude name? What up, Kid Gravity? What I think Ocho will do? Well, Ocho works for himself. Ocho's still going to be on the nightcap. Ocho doesn't have any major branding deals or anything. So for Ocho, it is what it is. You see what I'm saying? Ocho doesn't work for anybody. Ocho gets paid via Shannon. So as long as nightcap is going, he's good. Ocho, he's very frugal anyway. So I think he'll definitely stay around. I mean, what is he? It's not like where you gonna cancel him from? I didn't do anything. That's Shannon stuff. But Jason Whitlock, he's about to jump in. If you remember back, Jason Whitlock kept saying, why isn't Shannon Sharpe's name mentioned and all of that? Why isn't Shannon Sharpe? Why isn't Shannon Sharpe? Why isn't Shannon Sharpe? So right now, it's just about to be a huge separation. The major thing is seeing what ESPN does. What who is Nightcap with? Was it DraftKings? We're just going to start seeing everybody that's partnered with him. We're going to start seeing separation. But this is what happens. That's why when you start getting all this money, especially somebody like Shannon Sharpe, when you're doing all of this and you're getting all this money, you got to start putting in the clause in your contract. Hey, if there's allegations, y'all can't suspend me or nothing. Forget what the damn public, whatever their perception is. Y'all can't suspend me or nothing. If it's just allegations against me, because they're going to pop up whenever you get new deals. If it's just allegations, y'all still got to pay me and I'm still on the air. You got to start putting that in there, man. The hell with that. Suspending me, because if it's a false allegation, then what? Your reputation is ruined. You know what I mean? There's no coming back from that, especially when it's somebody that doesn't have the millions. Now, am I saying that Shannon is innocent? No, I don't know what the hell is going on. Did he have her on IG Live? Did she consent? Is what she's going to have to prove. If she didn't consent, the IG Live right there is automatically enough to get at least a couple million. He got millions of viewers. He's getting millions of views on his nightcap, his podcast. Oh, yeah. So everybody knows Michelle, my Michelle. So that's who we're thinking this Jane Doe is. Well, Ocho is partnered with Shannon Sharpe. But that's it. Ocho doesn't have any major deals on his own that we know about. You know, he's up under Shannon Sharpe. So Shannon Sharpe was trying to build like his own type podcast. The old Shay Shay. Club Shay Shay was like the overseer of everything that he had. He was branching out. So this is the Shannon Sharpe eyes $100 million podcast deal as volume contract expires. The Pro Football Hall of Famer has become one of the world's most successful podcasters, also while appearing on ESPN shows like First Take. Shannon Sharpe's media deal with Colin Cowherd's the Volume Podcast Network is up. Now, Colin Cowherd, he's also on FS1. So he's on Fox. He used to come on right after Skip and Shannon. So Shannon signed the deal up under him. That deal is up. Shannon is going for that $100 million. He got First Take, and this right here was supposed to slingshot him up. So his deal is up with Volume Podcast Network. Sources tell Front Office Sports the Pro Football Hall of Famer has received multiple offers and is expected to sign a deal that could exceed $100 million. Shannon Sharpe partnered with the Volume in August of 2023, several months after leaving FS1's Undisputed, where he broke out opposite Skip Bayless. Club Shay Shay immediately took off to become one of the biggest podcasts in the sports and entertainment, particularly on YouTube, where it's a juggernaut. Nightcap with co-host Ocho Cinco also has a considerable audience. Shannon Sharpe's interview with comedian Cat Williams reached 89 million views and counting on YouTube since premiering January 3rd, 2024. Sharpe's Club Shay Shay has amassed nearly 4 million subscribers. So that means roughly 4 million people heard him talk about what happened that night, not including what was on Instagram, not including all the other social media outlets that took that. A new deal will encompass all shows that Shay Shay Network, not just Sharpe's, that's currently including Club Shay Shay, Nightcap Club 520, which is Jeff Teague, the Bubba Dub Show, and the Humble Baddies. So all of them, they're gonna probably still be running, except for Club Shay Shay and Nightcap. So any interviews that Club Shay Shay had lined up, they're probably not going to drop right now. They're probably going to hold on to them. Sharpe regularly appears on ESPN shows like First Take with Stephen A. Smith earlier this year. Volume added Nick Wright to the podcast, a popular YouTube feed. All right. So that's what's going on with Shannon Sharpe. Again, I'm not saying that Shannon is innocent or guilty. I just know he was on the Instagram Live. All right. Let me see. Is there anything more recent? E Online. Let me see if they got anything else. NFL alum Shannon Sharpe accused of sexual assault and battery in $50 million lawsuit. The former Broncos tight end accused of sexual assault and battery following a 2-year relationship. The April 20th civil complaint in which an accuser is being identified as Jane Doe alleged that Sharpe R-worder recorded and shared. See, here we go. Now, it says she alleged that Sharpe R-word her, recorded and shared videos. So it doesn't seem like it was just, oh man, come on, Shannon. I know you wasn't sending videos of her. Sharpe R-word her, recorded and shared videos with an S of their ex encounters without her knowledge and engaged in unprotected ex despite her efforts to get him to stop. So, Shannon Sharpe. He engaged in unprotected ex despite her efforts to get him to stop and wear a condom. News has reached out to reps of Shannon Sharpe. Nothing back. Jane Doe alleged that her and Sharpe began a rocky consensual relationship in 23, described him as controlling, abusive. He demanded complete control, time and body. Complaint filed in Nevada. Per TMZ Sports and NBC Sports, expecting her to be at his house at the schedule. Okay, this is the same stuff. All right, defender Shannon Sharpe, a man who is accustomed to getting what he wants, completely fails to understand this basic concept, the filing continued. After many months of manipulating and controlling a plaintiff, a woman more than 30 years younger than he, and repeatedly threatening to brutally choke and violently slap her, Sharpe refused to accept the answer no in R-word the plaintiff, despite her sobbing and repeated screams of no. Jane Doe, who was 20 at the time, alleged Sharpe, 56, forced himself on her while she was crying after she attempted to break things off following news of the Club Shay Shay podcast host was accidentally having sex with another woman. Well, hold on. She attempted to break things off following the news that Club Shay Shay podcast was her. So she's not saying it was her on the Instagram live. She's saying that it was another woman. But the TMZ article said that it was her on the. The civil complaint, which does not have any criminal consequences attached, is seeking $50 million. When there's a trial, the recovery, if any, will be determined by a jury based on the evidence and law. The document continued. The number can, in theory, be anything. Tony Busby confirmed his law firm was representing Jane Doe on April 21st on Instagram, adding that his client alleged that she was brutally assaulted by former NFL player Shannon Sharpe on multiple occasions. Last incident was January of this year. The lawsuit filed under the pseudonym Jane Doe lays out the pattern of intimidation, manipulation, abuse, including allegations that Sharpe repeatedly threatened to choke and slap. I'm extremely proud to represent Jane Doe. It takes a great deal of courage to stand up against those with power, he concluded. I look forward to pressing on in court. All right. Well, that's Shannon Sharpe right there. They're looking for $50 million. Man, what y'all think? What y'all think about O'Shea Shay? I don't know, man. Like I say, at the end of the day, we don't know any of these people. They may seem cool. We don't know what they do behind closed doors. Nobody knows what they do behind closed doors. So again, I'm not vouching for Shannon as a person. Hey, his due process, he'll get his day in court. If he didn't do any of these, then he'll come out clean. If he did, well, it look like the pockets are about to be hurt, and this will be the last we hear of Shannon. Now, unless people back Shannon and they say, "Oh, this is a money grab," then that's what we'll see. But Tony's going for the $50 million. So, like I said, it ain't like Tony's no slouch. Tony won $159 million. He got the biggest verdict in Colorado Springs. He won $750 million. $56 million verdict, $35 million settlement against a restaurant, $41 million against a ship, $150 million against a gas station, So Tony Busby, yeah, he may take some cases that we look at like, but let's not act like he ain't one. He got 1, 2. This is almost $1 billion. He done won almost $1 billion. So regardless of what we think about him, let's see America's top 100 high-stake litigators. Oh man, what is this? His website? Oh man, this is some fake shit right here. We ain't going on here. Talking about submit your form. Yeah, so 2009. Oh, so he got some money. Well, there we go. Nikima said, "What I don't understand is how anything could be proven without DNA or SA." Well, this is a civil case. With a civil case, you don't need any of that. With the DNA and all of that, that'd be better for your that'd be better for like a criminal case. But if there's proof that he sent video somewhere, if there's a text message or anything, like if we see a text message where hopefully Shannon ain't like, let me make it clear. I'm not vouching for Shannon. I'm just looking at this just from the outside looking in. Hopefully there isn't any text messages because I don't want any of this stuff to have happened. But hopefully there isn't any text messages Shannon talking about I'll slap you or I'll choke you or anything of that dumb nature. You know, hopefully there isn't. But if there is, it's kind of like, can we not, if we see something of that nature, can we not believe it? The same thing with Diddy. I mean, in his case, just off topic, they said some of the testimony won't be used, but like in Diddy's case, we didn't believe any of this, and then we seen the video of him whooping on Cassie. Now, did it have anything to do with that freak offs? No, but once we seen that, it's like, well, if he's capable of doing that, then I'm sure he's probably trying to take something too. You see what I'm saying? So we'll see, but that's all we got right now as far as the Shannon Sharpe case. This just popped up. They filed it yesterday, so they're probably keeping it hush hush. And then today, TMZ was like, "Man, we dropping it." But let me see. Is there anything else on people? Oh, so here we go. We got a little more information. All right, here we go. The woman, now a Nevada resident, says that she met Sharpe when she was 22 years old. See, everything is changing, unless they were just saying in her 20s. They're saying Sharpe met her when she was 22 in a gym in Los Angeles in 23. She claims he made multiple advances toward her subsequent visits to the gym before the complaint says she eventually gave in. Sharpe allegedly asked the woman to sign an NDA before she could meet up with him, but dropped the request after she pushed back, the lawsuit states. Now, is there any text message or anything that shows that he asked for that? Because if Shannon's asking for an NDA, that's not uncommon for a celebrity or somebody with status. Because you don't want them, even if it's just you guys hanging out, you just don't want people running off and telling you business. But dropped the request after she pushed back, the lawsuit states. The lawsuit recounts a subsequent alleged incident during which she claims Sharpe became violent with her and threatened to knock her off after she showed up late to his home. He demanded complete control. All right, so these are pretty much all the same, but on this one, it's saying that she signed an NDA. And down here, it also says that it was another woman on the Instagram live. So she wasn't the one. We got to see the actual documentation. But this one's saying she wasn't the woman. It was somebody else. And that's what made her pull away. Then the plaintiff claims that Sharpe began flooding her phone with calls prompting her to leave Nevada frequently, according to the lawsuit. The suit then describes an October 2024 incident where Sharpe allegedly forced the plaintiff into a car and took her to her apartment. The plaintiff alleges that Sharpe then forced her to perform oral before anally R word. Sharpe grabbed her head, forcing her to look. Hey, disturbance here, caution. Sharpe grabbed her head, forcing her to look at him as she sobbed. The lawsuit claims he said at that point, "Look at this. Look at my arm. I got the chills. That's how good this is." What the hell? In January 25, the plaintiff claims that Sharpe asked to come to her apartment to give her a combined Christmas and birthday present. Once there, the plaintiff alleges in the complaint that he again actually assaulted her and refused to wear a condom. A representative for Sharpe did not immediately be reached. The plaintiff is requesting $50 million in damages. So every article we get to, it gives us a little more detail. Damn. What do I think about civil cases that stem from criminal allegations? Well, it depends. It depends. Take me for example. I got in a car wreck when I was 7 years old. Now, in the state of Missouri, I had to the age of 21 to sue that lady. Now, the lady hit me and could have went to jail for that. But if I would have sued, people would have said, "Why didn't I sue back when I was 7 years old?" Well, I didn't know I had that legal right. My parents didn't tell me till I was older that I could actually sue. They were just happy that I was alive. But if I would have sued her at 20 years old, would I have wanted her to go to jail? No. I'm just suing her to bring in her insurance to get the money from the insurance. So was it criminal that she was speeding? Yes. Did she hit me while speeding? Yes. Is that a crime? Yes. But would I want her to go to jail when I was 20 years old? No. I just would have wanted the money out of that. So it really depends on your type of situation. You know what I mean? So that's how I look at it. From my experience, I could have had a civil case. I probably could have got like 100,000, maybe 200 or something. But would I have wanted her to go to jail for something that happened 20 years ago? No. But would I have wanted the $200,000? Definitely. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it really just depends. Like, if it's a malpractice lawsuit, you want the doctor to go to jail or you just want to sue the hospital? There was a girl that lived a couple of blocks down from us. She ended up, what happened? She ended up getting electrocuted and she lost one of her arms. It just went down to her elbow. Now, it was negligence on the electricity company, but no one went to jail. She just sued the electricity company and won like $6 million. You see what I'm saying? No one went to jail. They could have, but she didn't press charges. She just did a civil case. So I guess it depends on you and where you're at. If you need that money, I guess getting the money and setting yourself up for something that you went through is better for your life than someone going to jail. You see what I'm saying? It sucks. But if the roles were reversed, would you want to go to jail for something you did, or would you want to just pay? You know, you're gonna take a hit because you're paying a lot of money, but you see what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. It's tough to call. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, again, I'm not defending Shannon Sharpe. I'm just giving my perspective on going civil and not criminal. That's the only way I can see it. Like, I wouldn't have wanted that lady to go to jail. Yeah, she was speeding, but I speed sometimes. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. But that's Shannon Sharpe's case there. That's whatever updates we have up till the last 30 minutes, I want to say, last 30, 40 minutes. So what you guys think about O'Shea Sharpe? Because I mean, it can get crazy. All right. Damn, Shay. 6 days ago, USA Today. All right, next we're gonna do the Karmelo Anthony case, and from there, because we almost had an hour already. Yeah, we'll do the Karmelo Anthony case. I haven't broke it down or actually looked at anything too much in detail. I know that he did get a bond. They did do a GoFundMe, so we'll do that. We'll see if there's any videos, and then we'll look and see how much time we got, because we do have Monday Mistakes on Mo.J. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button for me. Join the